Hey there, everyone. Shadow here, and welcome back to Surviving Mars, where I have officially failed. To say the least, guys, on the end of the last episode, there was that meteor shower that was going to come in, and to say the least, it came in alright. And it completely ruined this entire, like, video today. I'm very annoyed, to say the least. I've been at this for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, trying to fix what all happened. And I've come to determine that there's just no coming back from this. To say the least, I did get the dome up, and I had the plans to go over the dome. I had a whole, bit for this episode. And that just went right out the window when that meteor storm happened, because what happened was it took out a bunch of my power. It took out like all 6 of these power generators. It took out the reactors over here. It took out several of my drones. I literally, like, majority of my drones were standing right here. Meteor came in, hit them, wrecked them. And you can't repair them. I don't think none of these drones are working right now, because like literally everything's just starting to fall apart. I don't have resources. Biggest problem I've had. It started to happen in the last episode, and it just reached that crucial point of just no return this episode. Now, I guess that guy was getting food. I didn't know people could do that. I guess if there's food within range, they'll go get food automatically, but yeah, okay, I guess that is how that works. But to say the least, guys, more or less what happened was my population got out of control. That and this was the first run through of this gameplay. I knew sooner or later something would happen, even though I more or less, the mission difficulty wasn't that high, and I'm more or less playing on easy. But I knew something would happen. They always do in this game, even in like much simpler games like City Skylines. Something always happens. But so today's episode's going to be incredibly short, and I'm more or less just going to go over all the problems that I encountered and why I feel that this was a failure as far as we started this off. More or less, like I said, we had a meteor storm come in, took out a bunch of my power, took out my drones. But the other problem is that these domes got fractured. When a meteor hits your dome, it doesn't like destroy it. It breaks the glass. And for every fracture you get in that dome, it costs you 5 polymer to fix. Now, see, that is what really did me in. Was I called in support off these shuttles. I called in so many resources, but the problem is that on top of trying to keep other stuff maintained, can't even talk, I'm so upset, that I couldn't keep up with everything that was breaking, the repairs. I even sat there and tried to redesign the domes to support themselves better. And see, that's another thing that I think I kind of failed at, was the dome structure placements. Like, I tried to do like, this is a residential, this is a high density residential, and this is an agriculture. You can sit there and make specific domes like that, but to a degree, I think I just overplanned it. I made it too complicated, and it essentially all backfired on me. So what I'm thinking is, first of all, we need to skip the colonists so early on. We need to focus more on having just the general needs met. More or less, your general needs should be power. Power is most important. Like, you should have a constant day and night power system. More or less, your power system should never go offline, whether it be day or night. So we're going to try and have to look into more wind turbines, and not so much these guys. These guys are good, yes. They generate a lot of power. But the problem is that they cost way too much. They cost 1 polymer. And, I mean, if you keep them closed, they're fine. But when you open them, they start costing you just way too much polymer. So if we do go back down this road of having a bunch of these generators, I will not open them unless I have, like, legit, I'm making, like, 20 polymer a day or something. And that's another thing we'll get into here in a minute, is you need to be self-reliant on resources. But anyhow, yeah, we'll probably have more generators, and we'll have more wind turbines. Solar power is decent during the day and during starting, but it's used more or less to supercharge your batteries and whatnot. Anyhow, the second thing that I think I really messed up at was water production and fuel production. Now, at one point in the earlier episodes, I have plenty of fuel coming in. Then I started trying to farm, and then I didn't have any. I then had to turn the fuel production off because I didn't have enough water coming in. So, more or less, you need to have all your basics really defined and really set up, and you have to keep expanding upon them. See, I sat there with just these few generators for a while, and it just was not enough to keep everything going. And like right now, yeah, I probably could turn these back on. Actually, that one doesn't even work. That one's closed. Like, yeah, I could try and make more fuel and send these rockets up and keep trying to bring more resources back down and keep trying to fix the problems that are going on. But I feel it's not worth it at this point. I've been at this for 2 hours almost, trying to fix everything, trying to redesign everything, and I think I just executed everything incorrectly. I mean, even with this dome turned off, I'm still not able to generate and upkeep everything that's going on. And that comes to my other big point that I want to get across. The baby boom effect. And that legitimately, I highly believe, is what killed me this game. Was I wasn't making enough food from the get-go. So I started making too many children. My population literally, in like that one episode, jumped in a matter of like 30 minutes by 30-40 people, and I wasn't making enough food to begin with. And that comes back to the water, not having enough resources. So when we get back to this, we're going to have to really pay attention to the very first dome we make being food, and not so much being residential to where I can have, you know, oh, look, I can have 50-something people in this dome. Because you don't need that. You need the basics, which is where I really screwed up. I haven't been managing concrete that well either. And, yeah, I feel like there's a lot that I now know that I didn't know in the beginning. So the layout's very messy. There's not a whole lot left at this point that can be salvaged or even fixed. So, like I said, I think it's just going to be best to restart, get caught back up on a new map. Maybe we'll even try somebody else other than the US. Maybe we'll try like a normal setting as a game. And yeah, I don't know what else to really say, guys. I just, like I said, I've been kind of annoyed to a degree because I was, like I said, I was trying to do recordings earlier. I recorded originally what was going on with the domes, and I got annoyed with that. Deleted those recordings, and like I said, I love this game. It's just all poor execution on my point. The game is not at fault. It is solely on me, and the pure fact that, yeah, at this point I don't care. That's cool. You guys are gonna die anyway, sooner or later. But like that my biggest problem was senior citizens. nothing against our, senior citizens in real life, but on here, they don't work, so they can't do anything for you. They just take up space and eat food. So, yeah, that was a bit of a problem there as well that I was having. I couldn't, like, manage any of my buildings anymore either. Like I said, everything just, like I think I said in the last episode, and if I didn't say it in the last episode, I'll say it again anyhow. When it hits the fan, it all hits the fan at once, and that is legitimately the downfall of what happened here. Was not only did I have problems with resource management in the last episode, I then had meteors come in and like completely annihilate everything and make a bunch of fractures, and maintenance costs went through the roof. That, and another point that I probably should say is you want to keep calling in drones, or you want to keep calling in shuttles. You want to keep stockpiles of resources. You want to spend your money, more or less. Like, that's my problem. I still have money that I could spend, and I'm making, income quite frequently. And I just, like I said, a lot is on me. But I don't think I will take up any more of your guys' time on this episode, because this map is done, and I am done with this map personally. Like I said, I might be a little bit too salty, but I'm just highly annoyed at the fact that even after I spent 2 additional hours I tried to fix all my problems, at the end of it all, it wasn't even worth it. I couldn't maintain anything. Resources just kept running out. People are still not dying somehow, which is absolutely amazing. But alright guys, I will be back at this on a new map with hopefully a better layout, and this time around we're not gonna go crazy with the whole tri-dome right off the get-go, having 100 population within like the first 2 YouTube videos. Like, I so overextended everything. And that's part of the game. It's part of learning. Literally, as I've been doing these videos, I have literally been playing them with you guys, more or less. Like, I didn't know crap in the first video, and I now know more, but I probably still don't know everything in the game. I highly doubt I know everything. Like, we never even got to the mining or anything, but we'll get to it. I promise you guys we'll get to it. But alright guys, have a good one, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.